So you're going to get the podium. Oh. Once you stand up, let's be muted. I think they're getting busy. Yeah, we're straight. Okay, good. Did he show you how much best? Are you going to be the wide? Which one are you going to be? I'm going to be wide closer. So, Matt, just follow through. What? Follow the line. Okay.
I'll call the meeting to order. Wait a minute. I'm really kidding. We're out. First, I'd like to recognize our First Lady, Julie. We don't have any other flowers, so. Many have said, oh, why it's not the usual formation for a Senate meeting. Well, it's not a usual Senate meeting, so that explains that. How many of you are here at CSUF because of our students? That's what I expected. We can call that intrinsic satisfaction, flow, or it's like an income. Feels good. You've heard that phrase. Okay. And it keeps us moving. But external recognition. Oh, you want me to? Oh, you want that? Okay. So that part was off. That's good. It feels good and keeps us moving, but external recognition also helps. We've just hired a president who gets this with all of its implications. He understands our value for our students and society. We already know how very capable he is as a decision maker, supporter, and visionary leader. CSUF, we are extremely fortunate to have his talent and good judgment, someone who will take us to the next level of success. Sunny days are coming, if you get the little reference there. I remember the first time I heard him speak. I won't mention when that was. He said to one of my colleagues sitting next to me, if I ever need someone representing me, I want him on my side. Well, he is on our side. So let us welcome our I'm really not sure what to say there, President Fram Virjee, and it's all yours.
My first announcement is that we're dissolving the Senate and bulldozing the Arboretum. And bringing back football, right.
We're keeping the cookies, right?
The past several months have been a little bit awkward for me. I wanted to share with you, my colleagues, my friends, and my Titan family. I wanted to share with you my thoughts, my dreams, my desires, my joys with Cal State Fullerton. I wanted to share with you my passions and the potential I feel for Cal State Fullerton. I wanted to share with you my excitement and feeling of inclusion and collaboration and connection with Cal State Fullerton that I have, especially with you, with the faculty and the staff and the students. It's been an amazing 15 months, maybe the best 15 months of my life. I wanted to share all of that with you, and I wanted to thank you to explain my heart, to explain my desire for this place, to continue to plan and collaborate and envision with you. But the official Chancellor's Office position is that this was a confidential search. And I was asked not to share those things publicly, and I was asked not to talk about publicly whether I would be a candidate or not. And I will tell you, it was hard for me to walk that line. I'm not always a good rule follower. And while I couldn't share it broadly, I shared with many of you individually in this room how I felt about Cal State Fullerton. While I couldn't share it broadly, I tried to demonstrate to you my commitment for and love of this institution and of you. Again, my faculty, my staff, my students, my colleagues. But now the search process is over, thank goodness. And so I guess I'm free to share a little bit, explain more broadly my motivation, my desires, my heart. To be honest, with the plans that I have for the future, incrementally and personally, and I thought I would do that over time. But yesterday Mark said, oh, the Academic Senate meeting is on. Hard to plan for that, hard to know what to say, to be honest with you. I'm not sure that I'm ready to tell you these things, but I'm going to tell them to you anyway. That's never stopped me from talking before. So I thought I might start with explaining to you why I applied for this job, to be with my Titan family, to give you the same information that I gave to the search committee when they asked, why do you want to do this? You know, I'm not sure I would have been able to answer that question 15 months ago when I started. But in the last 15 months, I've engaged in what I think of as the best job in the world, not even a job, a calling. And I've had a chance to interact with almost all of you, with students, with faculty, talked with highly committed parents and alumni and community leaders, work with an amazing, amazing cabinet of highly effective and dedicated professionals, and immerse myself in Cal State Fullerton, in everything that it is to be a Titan and part of the Titan family. And in doing so over the last 15 months, I learned the why pretty substantially. Why I would want to take on this mission, why I hope and believe that we can do this effectively together. And at the risk of sounding a little bit too dramatic, I believe my entire life has been headed toward this. As you know, Cal State Fullerton is a diverse and inclusive family. And as such, the Titan family is reflective of and resonates with me. You've heard this from me before. I am a first-generation immigrant coming to the United States in 1966, came across on the Queen Mary to find my home in California. My parents are they're from a racially mixed marriage, and that was something in 1966 that was controversial and different, and it gave me just a little taste of what it's like to be looked at and treated differently. I'm a first-generation college student, first in my family on both sides, with my dad's 11 siblings and mom's 8 siblings and all my cousins first in the family to go to college. Many of you know my grandfather was a custodian at a community college, and that was the first time I ever stepped foot on a college campus. And that's where I learned plumbing and carpentry, but that's also where I learned about higher education. When I was accepted to UC Santa Barbara and my parents were driving me to campus for the first time, I teased that they slowed down and pushed me out the door. And I think it was because they were afraid. They were not sure how to advise me on navigating a university. It wasn't something they knew and understood. And when I started on campus, I knew what it was like to be a bit of a poser and not sure whether I belonged, whether or not this was the place for me. But that's what public education has done for me. That's what my life has been enriched by. I am a direct product of public education all the way through. And when I went to UC Santa Barbara and when I went to UC Hastings, I found my community. I found my beliefs in who I am and what I stand for and what I want to do. My roots go deep into the transformative nature of what public education is all about and what it can do. And you know this, I'm preaching to the choir. It's the reason that I've worked for it and with it for my entire career. You know, as a lawyer, I joined this white shoe law firm, this big conservative traditional law firm, but I represented LA Unified School District. And I represented educational institutions because that's where my passion was. And I asked to become the diversity partner for this law firm to try and bring in more partners from underserved communities, more women partners, because that was important to me and important to our firm. But when I was doing that, something was missing in my life. I did it for a long time. And it took me a long time to figure it out. I became financially successful, and I thank God for that blessing. I was at the top of my game in the legal profession. I had been in leadership of the firm, leadership in the bar, but I was looking for something different, looking for meaning, looking for a way to make the world a better place. Because after all, that's our mission. That's our goal, is to leave this place better than we found it. Julie and I, as you know, have our work in Rwanda, and I thought that's what it was going to be. That was my plan. You know, you always make plans, and God laughs at you when you make plans. But then Tim called from the chancellor's office, and I found the CSU. And then I thought I had the best job in the world. Executive Vice Chancellor, General Counsel, the chance to work with all 23 campuses, to work on access, to work on finding more funding, to work on policy issues that would shape California for the future. And it was an amazing job and an amazing institution that serves an incredible mission. I got to work for the students that I saw myself in. I got to work on all these important issues, but still something was missing. And I realized what it was the day I stepped onto this campus, and that was students. There's no students at the chancellor's office, and it's hard to remember why you do what you do, and you all feel this every day. But for me, it's 15 months old. It still smacks me when I come on campus in such a good way that, oh my gosh, this is what it's all about. It's breathtaking. It really is. It sounds silly probably, but this job completes me. It makes me feel whole. It makes me feel the purpose that I've been looking for my whole life. It takes the skills that I've developed in my life in leadership and collaboration and empathy and strategy, ethics, human resources, education, and it puts them all together and allows me to use them in a way that will affect the future with you. When did I know that this was the perfect job? When did I know that this is what I wanted to do? And I would have to try and stay? I've thought about that in my mind. And I think it might be move-in day this past year, where I set aside 45 minutes in my calendar to go and greet people at moving day. And I stayed all day. And it was amazing to see all these kids and families and parents moving their firstborn, their first to go to college, into the dorms. And you could tell who was first gen because they had twice as much stuff as everybody else. But as I wandered around, I noticed that I saw parents that felt the way my parents did when they nudged me out the door. And I thought, what can I do to help them? What can I do with them? And it's, we're almost 50% Hispanic, Latino now, and so there were lots of Latino families there. Many families where mom and dad either spoke no English or very little. And I approached a couple of them, but one in particular I remember, a mom was sitting on a bench and she was crying. And her son was standing next to her, rolling his eyes a little bit, saying, "Mom, it's going to be okay." And Dad was... And I thought, okay, what I'm going to do, I went and sat down next to Mom and I said, "It's going to be okay. I know this is your treasure. I know this is your most prized possession, but we will take care of him. We will love him as ours." I'm not sure she understood what I was saying. But it didn't help because the tears kept coming. And so I looked up and I looked at Dad and I thought, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And I put my arm around him and we walked away from the family. And I said, "It's going to be okay." And I said, "I know what you're worried about." I said, "You're going to get a call in 2 weeks or 2 months from your son, and he's going to have a problem, and you're not going to know what to do. And you're going to be at sea at how you can solve this." I said, "Here's my card. Here's my cell phone number. When that happens, call me. Don't tell him you can't help him. Don't tell him, give him advice. Just call me, and we will find a way to fix whatever his problem is. And you will call him back, and you will say, 'I took care of it.'" And he walked back to Mom and his son, and he walked tall and proud, and he said, "It's going to be okay." And I thought, okay, that is why we're here. That is what we do. We don't just raise up our students, we raise up our families. So, whether it's working with faculty, sharing life, sharing dreams, sharing the future, working as guest lecturer, going for coffee with faculty members, talking about books with faculty members, reading their dissertations, which I've done, which has been, I'm not kidding, it's been great. Reading articles that they send me, working with students, connecting with them, the highs and lows of students, our ASI leaders, our athletics, our choral singers, our opera, our engineering students, our Capital Fellows, our capstone students in Mahalo, our Family Business Center, our Center for Healthy Neighborhoods, Dirk, our history celebrations, working with ASI. It's just been an amazing and affirming journey. You know, the Monday that we were having our first, the first round of interviews, I was sitting in my office and I thought, I got to get out of my office and I got to figure out, I got to clear my head and decide what I'm going to say. And I walked to my sanctuary, to the campus. And I was sitting on campus. I was sitting on a planter box and trying to make sense of what I was going to say and articulate why I wanted to be here. And up came a group of students. They were our ASI leaders. And they were there from every walk of life, from every socioeconomic background, and they were together. And they walked up and they started talking to me, and they had no idea what I was going off to do. And what they said to me, this is the best place in the world. We love this place. And they started talking to me about all the reasons why this place was changing their lives. And each one of them had just a little bit different story, but it was so affirming and so amazing. And I walked back to my office like I felt like I was 8 feet off the ground, saying, this is it. This is why I'm going to do this. And there's more to this story. I walked into my office and I sat down and the phone rang. And I picked up my cell phone. And it was one of our African American students who I've been working with because they feel out of place. They told me they feel invisible and hypervisible at the same time. They told me that faculty look through them and look around them all the time. They told me they can't find their place. He told me, I just blew it. I didn't want to say a he. He told me, I can't find my place here. People don't understand who I am and where I come from. And I picked up the phone and he said, I quit. And he was driving home to New Jersey, driving across the country to go home, leaving the Titan family. And it broke my heart. And I talked to him for almost an hour as he was driving, trying to understand. And I said, look, you have to come back. Nothing will change if you don't come back. Nothing will change if you don't raise your voice. I will stand right next to you. We will find a way for you to articulate how you feel. We will find a way to empower you to be part of the Titan family, but you have to come back, because if you don't, it won't just not change for you, it won't change for those that come after you. He came back on Monday. He's here. He's part of the Titan family. And we're going to embrace him, and we're going to move this institution forward in a way that benefits all our students. All our students. And just today, I'm sitting in my office, and in comes this amazing man that comes in and out of my office every week, a horticulturist, to water my plants and care for my plants and sing to them and make sure that they work. And today, he's got his son with him because it's spring break. And he's a senior in high school. And I said, where are you going? Well, I think I'm going to go to community college. And then I don't know what. I said, oh, no. I said, what are you interested in? What do you want to do with your life? He goes, I want to be a businessman. I said, step outside. And we looked outside. I opened the slider and we walked over and we looked over the ledge. I said, that is Mahalo Business School. Do you know that's one of the best business schools in the country? Top 20 in the country. And the biggest one on the West Coast. And I said, you can go there. There's everything that your heart desires there. Whatever it is you want to do. And here's my card. Don't think maybe you want to go to school. You're going to go to school. Dad, he's going to go. Come on, you're in my office every day. I'm going to ask you all the time, where is he and what's he doing? This is why we're here. This is the future of Orange County, of Southern California, of the state. These students and their families are why we are here. Why I'm here, but that's why we are here. Their parents are why we are here. these faculty and staff that energize me. That's why we're here. Now, I'm not here for financial gain. I'm not here for filling out my resume. Lord knows I don't ever want to do another resume again. We're here for raising up families. We're here for creating uplifted community. We're here for increasing access, for persistence of our students to graduate. We're here for the creation of graduates who not only will get that first job, but the second and the third, and not only will provide for themselves and their families, but will give back to their communities, will be civically engaged, will care about the future, will love their community. The CSU is the glue that holds California together. I learned that at the Chancellor's office. But Cal State Fullerton is the glue that holds Orange County together. We're the only one in Orange County. Every other place in the state, you've heard me say this, 5 CSUs in LA County, 5 in the Bay Area, 2 in San Diego, 3 in the Valley, 1 in Orange County. This is our license. This is our obligation to hold this place up and to build it up. Let's be very clear. CSU Fullerton is already an amazing place, a wonderful place. But I believe we're on the cusp of even more greatness. We are no longer a sleepy commuter school. 40,000 kids, 75,000 applicants each year. That's not a sleepy commuter school. We're no longer a backup or a safety school with that many applicants. We're ranked number 13 in the nation for rigor. This is a rigorous academic institution, and we should be proud of that. We're ranked number 4 in the nation for graduating students of color with bachelor's degrees. Number 4 in the nation. We're number 1 in California for graduating women with bachelor's degrees. So it's our legacy and it's our obligation to step up and do more and do as much as we can to enrich and empower the Orange County community that is there today, but that is coming tomorrow. What does that mean? What does that look like? That means getting out and engaging with the business community in Orange County in a way that we've never done before. We're going to do that. That means seeking their financial help, but also seeking their personal help and their personal commitment. Internships and mentorship, help with cutting-edge lab space and research opportunities, seeking cooperation and coordination with community service learning that helps our community, but also helps our students. It's seeking to partner with the Orange County business community to make Orange County a more inclusive, supportive, and uplifting place for everyone, for our students, for their families, but for everyone. It means increasing access. It means, as I said, we're the only CSU in Orange County, so we have to increase access. As part of our master planning process, we need to look at innovative ways to bring more students into the tent. How can we do that? How can we do that with hybrid? How can we do that with online learning if that's what has to be done? How can we better utilize the space we have? How can we better schedule so that we can bring more students? And how can we make a demand on the Chancellor's office that they need to give us a bigger piece of our student enrollment increases because we're the only CSU in Orange County? It means, as I said, workforce development for our students, preparing our students not only for their first career and their second career, but for their third career, and preparing them to build community, a tightened community throughout Orange County, while never losing focus on our mission of being dedicated to diversity and inclusion as a strength that holds us apart, that sets us apart, that makes us unique within the CSU. And I think we're succeeding at those things already. We really are. I know that in the last 15 months ago when I came, people said jokingly, "Uh-oh, they sent the lawyer down here. Somebody must be in trouble." And I also know I'm not a traditional candidate. I'm not a traditional president now. But that means I have to rely on you. I need you. I need our faculty and staff. I need our students because I can't do this alone for sure. And I can only do it with you. Everything that led me to be chosen by the board is because of you. It's because of what you've done over the last 15 months. I like to think I've been a part of that, but it's because of the record of what you've done over the last 15 months. So in the last 15 months, you've embraced us, Julie and I, in a way that is overwhelmingly wonderful. We've worked hard in the community. Us, together in the community. We've engaged students in a new way, I believe. And I think we're succeeding. Our strategic plan is now ready for implementation. We're in the early stages of implementing it. Our philanthropic campaign is halfway to goal, and we haven't even officially launched, which is a pretty amazing thing. Our physical master plan, we're going to have our first public meeting next week, and I think it's going to be an amazing, robust process for us to envision the future of Cal State Fullerton. We're about to engage in the WASC review process, which I actually am excited about and can't wait for. Wait till they see what we've been doing. We're going to graduate our largest class ever again this year, beating last year. Funding for faculty and student research is at an all-time high and not high enough. Not high enough. We have to find more ways to do that, and we will. We're recruiting for 70 tenure-track faculty positions. We want to transform our tenure-track faculty ranks for diversity, for retention, and for increased interaction with our students. We were my top college choice again, which I just loved. Our athletics have been on fire, and I love, as an old broken down athlete, going to those games. But my gosh, look at our performing arts programs, our capstone programs, our engineering programs and what they're doing. We had our highest fundraising year ever last year, and Greg's sweating it back there, but I know we're going to do even better this year. We have our highest rates of graduation for 4-year and 6-year graduation rates, and we will continue to improve those. We're attacking our infrastructure needs. Lord knows by looking at all the fencing, we must be, right? We better be doing something. But we know we're going to open in the fall the other half of our library, finally. And there's Tuffy's and Club 57 and the Veterans Resource Center and the Center for Entrepreneurship and the Student Counseling and Health Center. We are improving ourselves from a physical standpoint as we must. In the end, this job is all about collaboration, being engaged, horizontal leadership. It's about envisioning and vision. It's about daring and dreaming. It's about motivating and moving for change and progress. I love this body because that is what we can do together. I want to do it with you. Every aspect of our family, Titan family, has to be a part of where we go and what we do. Without that, we won't be able to speak out and speak up to the Chancellor's office. Without that, we won't know what to do about GE reform. We have to collaborate. Without that, we won't know how to articulate our position when it comes to executive orders. We have to collaborate and talk. As I said, I feel like this is something that I've been working toward my entire life. I want to make one thing very clear. I love this place. I love doing this with you. I love the mission. I love our students. And I love the fact that I get to stay and keep doing it. So thank you very much. I didn't hear Amir say anything about a journey.
Yeah.
And I do want to say I'm always, if you want to ask questions of me, I'm happy to answer them. I'm happy to do it in this forum, in any forum, one-on-one, in groups. I want to do that. That's how we move the institution forward.
And this is working, right? Okay. While I think it would be good to have questions, I think maybe it's better not to. Our president has to run off in about 10 minutes. We have some cake in the back, and I think it's really better to have a celebration. So join us.